Let's go, Pats! I don't know about you, but I'm counting down the hours until the season kicks off. I know there are still a few months to go, but my blue, red, and silver heart is already beating with excitement. Our team is well put together and ready to soar high. Today, I need to talk about some important topics that have been making waves behind the scenes at the Patriots. And man, a lot of things are about to go down from here on out. I'll tell you everything I've found out. But before we get into all the details, make sure you hit that like button, but only if you've been a Patriots fan for over 19 years. It's so awesome to see fans of all ages. Some of you were at the games back in the 70s. That's incredible. Much respect to all of you. If you can, leave a comment like this. Go Pats! Let's keep getting stronger. Now I want to kick things off with this piece of news. Could the Patriots really be on the verge of bringing back one of the most iconic defenders in franchise history? I mean, just imagine it. Christian Gonzalez locking down WR1s, Carlton Davis manning the other side. Then out of the tunnel at Gillette, here comes Gnome 24, Stefon Gilmore, Gilly Rock, the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year. That thought alone is enough to send shivers down the spines of AFC East quarterbacks. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break down everything going on. Because this isn't just speculation, folks. There's a very real conversation happening about a potential reunion between Gilmore and the New England Patriots. And let me tell you, this is not something that happens every day in Foxborough. We're talking about a player who, yes, is 34 years old, which in NFL cornerback years might as well be 100, but who still logged 15 to 17 games per season with multiple teams after leaving the Pats. He may not be the same player who sealed the 2017 AFC Championship game with that leaping pass deflection against Jacksonville, but his name still holds weight, and his presence still commands respect. And more than that, his experience could be the secret weapon this young New England defense needs heading into 2025. Gilmore's return would be an anomaly in Patriots history. This team, for decades under Bill Belichick, rarely brought back players once they were let go. The only recent exception? Deion Branch in 2012. So if this move does happen, it marks not just a change in player personnel, it could be a cultural shift under new leadership with Mike Vrabel at the helm. A Vrabel who, by the way, brings just enough Belichick DNA to keep things familiar, but with the potential to embrace a more flexible and modern approach. So, let's dive into the cornerback situation, because that's what's driving this entire debate. Right now, New England has Christian Gonzalez, a second-team All-Pro last season, projected to lock down the CB1 spot. Carlton Davis, newly signed, is slated for CB2. On paper, that's a solid starting duo. But here's the concern: depth. Marcus Jones is expected to man the slot when healthy, and expectations are high for his breakout year. But that's where things start to feel thin. Beyond those names, you're looking at late-round rookies like 7th-rounder Kobe Minor. Solid, maybe. But is that really the guy you want as your fallback if someone goes down?
And that's the wild card in all of this: health. Because Carlton Davis has not played more than 14 games in a single season for the past 4 years. Every year, it's something: 12 games, 13 games, something knocks him out. When he's on the field, he's an impact player. But when he's off, that's a gaping hole in your defense. And this is where Gilmore enters the equation. Not as your CB1, not even as your CB2, but as an insurance policy. A high IQ, high experience safety valve who knows how to perform in big games. A plug-and-play piece in case Davis once again can't stay healthy. But what about Gilmore himself? What's he got left in the tank? Well, the tape shows a decline. Let's not sugarcoat it. His PFF grade has steadily decreased year after year since that elite 2019 campaign. He's bounced around the league: the Panthers, Colts, Cowboys, and most recently, the Vikings in 2024. He's been productive: 56 tackles, a handful of pass deflections, but he hasn't stuck anywhere. That's what makes people nervous. If teams are willing to give him just 1 year, prove it deals, and move on, is he really the asset New England should be betting on? Maybe not, unless you consider the unique angle the Patriots could take. Because there's one thing that Gilmore did in New England that he didn't do anywhere else: play the slot. During his original tenure in Foxborough from 2017 through 2020, Gilmore logged more snaps at slot corner than in any other stretch of his career. Over 100 snaps in 2017, more than 200 in 2018, 156 in 2019, and then it tapered off in 2020 as the team kept him outside. But guess what? After he left, not once did he break 60 snaps at slot in a season. This was a uniquely New England assignment, a schematic twist designed by Belichick. And while the hoodie is gone, Vrabel may very well tap into that old playbook. Imagine this: Gonzalez on the outside, Davis on the other boundary, and then Gilmore, the wily veteran, reading routes and QBIs from the slot. That's a trio that could do serious damage. And with the Patriots currently holding the most cap space in the NFL, $67.3 million to be exact, they could afford to hand Gilmore a $5 to $7 million deal with zero hesitation. The math checks out. The need is there. And the role? Very clear. Depth, flexibility, and mentorship. Let's talk mentorship for a second, because the most compelling reason to sign Stefon Gilmore might not be what he brings to the field, it's what he could bring to the meeting room. Christian Gonzalez is already being touted as a top 5 corner in the league by some analysts, and if he keeps ascending, he could be the best in the NFL in just a few seasons. Now imagine if Gilmore, a former DPOY, is in his ear every week, teaching him how to study tape, how to anticipate throws, how to bait quarterbacks into mistakes, how to dominate the mental game. That's how you turn a young phenom into a legend. And while there are other names on the market, Asante Samuel Jr., Rasul Douglas, Mike Hilton, Kendall Fuller, Shaquille Griffin, none of them bring that unique combination of Patriots familiarity, schematic fit, veteran credibility, and championship DNA. Gilmore knows what it takes to win in New England. He's done it, and if he's willing to accept a reduced role, there may be no better locker room presence to help guide this young core. But that's the catch, isn't it? Is Gilmore willing to come off the bench? To not start? To be the backup plan? Because the elite ones, they never see themselves that way. When you've been the best corner in football, when you've hoisted a DPOY trophy, it's hard to look in the mirror and say, I'm CB4 now. Gilmore might believe he's still got something to prove. And if that's the case, maybe a one-year deal in New England, ending where it all began, mentoring the future of the position, that could be exactly the storybook finish he's looking for. Now I want to hear from you. Yes, you, Patriots Nation. Do you want the team to sign Stefon Gilmore? Would you embrace the reunion? Would you trust him to step into that backup, mentoring role? Or do you think it's time to move on and let the new generation take over without looking back? Drop your take in the comments below. Type S for sign, P for pass. And while you're at it, fill in the blank. Christian Gonzalez is a top _____ cornerback in the NFL right now. Let's start the debate, because this debate isn't just about roster spots or cap space. It's about identity. It's about whether the New England Patriots, under new leadership, are ready to embrace a different way of thinking. One that honors the past, leverages experience, but isn't chained to tradition. For so long, this franchise has been known for its ruthless efficiency. Cut early, cut sharp, move on. Don't pay for what a player used to be. That's the Belichick model. But what if Vrabel sees it differently? What if he believes there's value, not just in tape and stats?